Hi, and welcome to Comedy Recapped. Today, we're going to be explaining the 1990 comedy film titled Ski Patrol, directed by Richard Carell. The movie begins with Lance challenging a fellow skier, Jerry Kramer, to a skiing duel. At the end of their intense ski race, the two finish at roughly the same time despite Lance having a head start. A pissed-off Lance leaves after promising that they'd meet again. Later that day, Lance has a meeting with Mr. Maris, the CEO of Maris Enterprises. Maris makes a proposition to Lance asking him for help in gaining sole ownership of Snowy Peaks, which is the town's ski resort. Lance refuses the offer at first, but reconsiders when Maris promises to get rid of Jerry if he accepts his proposal. Lance, however, questions how Maris intends to gain ownership, as Pops, the current owner, would never sell his property. Maris explains that if enough violations are incurred, Snowy Peaks would lose its permit and would have to be leased, making it possible for him to buy. Meanwhile, Jerry heads over to a party house, hosted at the town's ski patrol house, where he meets his fellow ski patrollers, including Iceman and Eddie, who, like Jerry, are seasoned patrollers, as well as Tiana, a foreign exchange student, and Stanley, who has failed to make the ski patrol team 7 years in a row. The next morning, Murray, the director of the patrol team, holds the annual ski tryouts for interested skiers, with all except Stanley passing the test. A distraught Stanley is consoled by Tiana, who sympathizes with him, knowing how badly he wanted to make the team. The ski season begins the next day, with the resort being officially opened. Numerous visitors have fun skiing, snowboarding, and snowmobiling on the mountain all day. An envious Lance observes in a cabin at a distance and decides to put Mr. Maris's plan of sabotaging Snowy Peaks into action. Later that evening, there's a party in the lounge celebrating the 40th anniversary of the resort. The evening advances merrily as everyone's having a swell time. However, the celebration is short-lived when, upon unboxing the cake, mice, which were planted by Lance and his crew, are revealed. The party is immediately thrown into a frenzy as the frightened guests all run away in fear. Amid the havoc, one of the town's officers, Inspector Kravitz, walks in. She states that the presence of mice is against health regulations and questions where they came from. Jerry, who was just within listening distance, steps up saying that the mice were the ski patrol's pets. Despite this, Inspector Kravitz issues Pops a citation. Lance and Maris, who were also guests at the party, observe at a distance with wide grins upon realizing that their plan worked. The next day, Eddie and Tiana each ride a snowmobile to scout the area for obstacles, but Eddie's snowmobile unexpectedly fails to stop and he ends up crashing into the women's restroom. Unfortunately, Inspector Kravitz was in one of the stalls when this happened and thereafter issued Pops, upon his arrival, yet another citation. She warns that they've had 2 major violations and that any more disobedience of safety rules would warrant her shutting down the resort. A while later, the patrol team all go to the bar to unwind, drink liquor, and have a good time. There, Tiana asks Stanley to dance with her. Though he refuses at first, he ends up being quite the dancer, managing to draw a crowd and impress her with his sleek moves. Later that night, Jerry leaves the party together with Ellen, one of the girls on the team who he has a crush on, with the two sharing a kiss. The following night, the ski patrollers are hit once again with an unfortunate turn of events when Eddie is set up by Lance and arrested by the police for shoplifting. The rest of the ski patrol team, on hearing the news, are in disbelief, swearing that Eddie would never commit a crime. They try to foot his bail, but are a couple of $100 short. Desperate for money, Jerry suggests that they compete in the town's talent show, which has a cash prize of $1,000. Iceman agrees to sing, but proposes a dancer join him for his performance. The squad eventually cajoles a reluctant Stanley to perform alongside Iceman, and after some persuasion, he agrees. The duo, Iceman and Stanley, give a stunning performance with the crowd singing and dancing along. The performance ends, and the crowd breaks into resounding applause. They are then crowned the winner and awarded the cash prize, which they use to bail out Eddie. The next morning, Kravitz visits the resort for a safety inspection. She certifies and clears the lodges, leaving the ski patrol equipment as the only outstanding inspection. The inspection is off to a good start with the skis, vehicles, and dynamites being in good condition. However, they end up failing the test when their cannon misfires. This prompts Kravitz to shut down Snowy Peaks for safety guideline violations. A devastated Pops announces to his team that he has leased the resort to Mr. Maris. Jerry, angered by this, tells Pops that they were obviously sabotaged by Maris and Lance's team. Pops, on hearing this, confronts Maris at a hot dog stand, but he blatantly denies it. Meanwhile, an explosion nearby causes the stand to slide downhill with Maris stuck in it. Pops, together with the ski patrol team, get on snowmobiles in hot pursuit to save a frightened Maris. The stand eventually stops at the edge of a cliff with the ski patrol catching up. Pops approaches the stand with a rope but says to Maris that he would not help unless he confesses that he sabotaged the lodge. Maris, who is in a state of panic, comes clean and admits in the presence of Inspector Kravitz that he was the mastermind responsible for all of the safety violations. Pops then tosses him the rope as the stand falls down the cliff, saving him in the nick of time. Maris is then arrested by Inspector Kravitz as she revokes all previous citations, allowing the resort to be reopened. Lance and his team, on seeing this, make a run for it, but are caught by Jerry after quite a lengthy chase. The next day, Stanley gains his official ski patroller license and the movie ends with Pops and the ski patrol in a cabin making a toast. After which, Jerry and Ellen share a kiss. And that's a wrap for Ski Patrol. Hopefully, you enjoyed this recap as much as we did. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. If you'd like to look into other movies with us, make sure you like and subscribe. Till next time.